Hi everyone, hope you are all doing well and welcome back to another video on New World. So hopefully you can sit down, grab yourself a cup of tea, and we're just going to be taking a look at update 1.01 which just got released into the game today. It's actually really quite a small update, but since many of you probably don't actually sort of keep up to date on the New World website, I thought it was just worth very quickly covering, just so you know a little bit about what's going on in game and what changes you have got upcoming. So they kind of open up by talking a little bit about the first week's experience. They sort of acknowledge a little bit about the queue times and how that is their top priority to get fixed. They go on to say that they've doubled the current number of available servers, and they've actually increased the server capacity on existing servers, and that hopefully soon we're going to be having player transfers. That player transfers one, that's one I hope they get sorted really rather shortly. Particularly now they've got the character creation lock on some worlds. I think a lot of people who are trying to sort of play together are kind of banking on this character transfer to be able to transfer back over to the servers with their friends. And I'm sure there's some people who are now stuck on the really busy servers who as a group would probably like to transfer over to some of the quieter servers so they don't get stuck in their queues. So it's all kind of built around the whole queue problem. But kind of talking about the queue problem, we kind of lead on to the AFK changes we've had. Now, initially these were announced a few days ago, where in effect lots of people have been abusing the system by auto-running or weighing down the W key or whatever their run forward key is, and basically just running themselves continuously into a wall as a way of avoiding getting kicked for going AFK. Then they'd sometimes go off from their keyboard for a few hours. But when there's so many people stuck in queue waiting to get into the game, it's causing a massive problem because people are taking up server space doing nothing, just AFKing. And so that was something that people had a lot of complaints about and something they've basically worked to fix. So now that if you just run into a wall on auto run or just weigh your W key down, then you'll get kicked. They've changed the times of this, so after 15 minutes now you're going to be getting a warning message, and after 20 minutes you're going to be getting kicked from the game. And it seems that people who are sort of abusing this and exploiting this, trying to get around the AFK system, may eventually sort of result in bans and disciplinary action, because effectively it's considered an exploit. Just to add on to this, it seems a few people have been accidentally leaving the queue, and they've basically added in a confirmation message, so you can't get from 3,000 all the way down to 100 and then accidentally leave the queue, which I can understand would be pretty heartbreaking. So yeah, nice little addition there. Which then leads us on to this little change they've got going on here, which I noticed. Changed turret projectiles in war from physical projectiles to hit scan. Well, let's just explain a little bit about what physical projectiles and hit scan are. So if you take the bow, for example, in New World, that launches an arrow as a physical projectile. You pull back the bow, fire arrow, and the game tracks the arrow across the map, and you can see the physical arrow moving across the map until it hits its target, be that another player or an ancient or a withered or whatever it is. It tracks that projectile. Whereas a hit scan is, say, much more like the musket, where it never actually renders the musket ball and tracks it in real life. Wherever you click with the musket to fire is where it hits, and it's instant, like a laser beam. And so that does actually make the musket a little bit easier to sort of hit things with at times, depends how you look at it, but it also means that the game doesn't have to render those objects, i.e. the musket ball. And that's what they want to change turrets to in wars. So currently they fire actual physical projectiles, which the game tracks. And so to try and improve performance, they want to make them hit scan. So they're basically turning them from bows to muskets. Kind of the easiest way of thinking about it. I can see how that's going to help performance. Seems like a good change in that sense. It probably is going to make turrets a little bit more powerful. They can actually be pretty effective in wars already. At least that's been my experience of them so far. So they're certainly going to make them slightly easier to use because there's no longer that projectile travel delay. It's going to be an instant. So it's going to make them slightly more easier to aim, particularly at longer distances. So yeah, interesting change, good from a performance point of view, perhaps not necessarily a quite needed buff from just a turret point of view. Then we move on to fixes and some other little general changes. Nothing huge here, but a few nice ones stood out to me. Fixed the issue where players are asked to claim multiple achievements. I don't know about you guys, but every time I log in, I get this pop-up, congratulations, new achievement. And it's just the same one over and over again, or the same 10 or whatever it is. So I'm glad they finally managed to fix this one. And we've even managed to fix the abandoning event notification. Thank God for that. That was an annoying bug which, took up a good chunk of your top right-hand side of the screen, where it continually told you that you're just abandoning event. And that was a problem from one of the earlier. It might have been open or closed. I'm not sure which stage of testing it was in, but definitely had this one before, so it's obviously a reoccurring problem for them. Other things I noticed, they said, fixed an issue causing Overseer Zane to respawn slower than intended. Yes, I mean, he absolutely did spawn very slowly. But New World has been out for over a week now, and this was a day one bottlenecking issue. Pretty much everyone I've spoken to has had some problems getting stuck waiting for Overseer Zane, along with 50 other people trying to kill him. Why has it taken till, over a week to fix this one? This is a core bottlenecking issue that should have been done on day 1 or 2. Things like this need to be solved far, far quicker because they cause problems for everyone. And then after that, they just kind of go on to talk about a few quests that were obviously clashing with each other and preventing you from starting other quests. So they managed to fix that one as well. So as I said at the start, quite a small little patch this time around. So we'll just keep the video short and kind of end it here. But yeah, interesting selection of changes. Seems like servers are still currently their top priority, so hopefully that continues to be the case and we really get to see an end to the queue time problems. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Any questions or comments, let me know in the section down below. And of course, I shall see you all on the next video.